Well, the other alternative is to fire about 1/3 or more of state employees. So no matter which way you go in this thing, you're going to get the bad end. But that's the position California has put itself in, and that's part of the solution. And maybe they should only lay off 20% of the people and charge half as much tax. I don't know. It's up to them. The point is, it's the only way they're going to get out of it. The system in California has run wild for the last 50 years. It's been a national disgrace, and both parties are to blame. They live in an unreal world in Sacramento. And now that you have the Democrats running things, they like to spend lots of money. Republicans do too, but they also don't want to cut jobs, and that's what has to happen.
Then the follow-up question is there not could there not be a solution with getting rid of the 40% of the illegal immigrants in our state, many of which happen to be from South America? A lot of people don't realize that over 15% of the illegals come from South America, not Mexico, and we've got at least 5% illegal Chinese and Vietnamese here. Would that take care of the problem if we could get them out, and how is there a possibility of getting them out?
Well, first of all, it's a federal issue, and secondly, it would help tremendously because they refuse to pay taxes, and they refuse to pay taxes because they don't want to get caught and sent back to where they came from. So to solve the problem, you round them all up and you send them back where they came from. It's as simple as that. That would help tremendously because they are in the country illegally. But you're still going to have to raise taxes, and you're still going to have to cut employment. And you're going to have to cut pensions. This is going to be bloody, but there's no other way to do it. This has been coming for years.
Mr. Chairman,
and now the front runner for the governorship is good old Jerry Moonbeam Brown. And this guy is, I've talked to him several times, and like his father, he's got a couple of screws loose. And I never particularly liked the fellow, and I met him a number of times. And Wilson did do a good job. But you're at a juncture here where in California you're going to have to take a lot of pain. And if you don't like it, sell your house and get out.
Amen. That's what I tell my listeners.
But there's no jobs anywhere. So you better have some money.
Mm-hmm. Mr. Chairman, Alex Jones says our pension plans are doomed, really gone. Are they gone, can we get? Is there any way we can get them out before they're totally gone?
All depends on who holds your pension. If it's the U.S. government, there's nothing you can do about it. If it's usually municipal, state, county employees, there's usually nothing you can do about it. Some of those entities do allow you to take a cash settlement, but they give it a big haircut. But there's not many that do. Even in private pension plans, very often, even if you're retired, you can't get a lump sum. You got to work your way through it. And they're all going to. I don't think they're all going to go under. What's going to happen is they're going to cut the benefits by 2/3, the same amount that they're going to cut the value of the dollar and default payment on their debt.
Is there a legal way to cut the pensions?
I don't think so. But I don't know. You'd have to ask an attorney. But, I run into it every single day. Another thing I run into, especially in the last several years, is people being talked into by attorneys leaving money to people in a annuity with an insurance company. Well, the insurance company goes under, you don't get anything. And the annuities are invested, probably 80% of them in stocks, about 20% in bonds. And if the Dow goes down, like Richard Russell, who lives in California, and Joe Granville, and I say, if it goes down, and we've been right, if it goes down like I think it's going to go down, they're going to lose 2/3 of their value anyway. It is not good. But these are the realistic facts. I'm here to tell you the truth and hope you listen. I don't get paid to do this.
Neither do I. Here's one for you. The Business News Network came forth with a couple of people, and I heard Peter Grandich, who's basically a more conservative than others on the network, had a prediction that there is a slow but steady increase in the gold prices to around $1,300 to $1,500 an ounce, with a year-end price of $2,000 before the bull is over. Do you agree on this, or do you think it may even go greater?
Well, first of all, I've known Peter Grandich for about 20 years, and I don't agree with him. I think gold and silver are going to go considerably higher. Peter has had a mixed record as far as a forecaster, and I know him quite well. He's a nice fellow, and I like him. But that doesn't change the fact that I don't believe that gold's going to stop at $2,000 or that silver's going to stop at $35 or $50. I mean, one of the problems that people have in the industries that I'm in, I'm a journalist, they call us bloggers, and I also am an expert in economics and finance. But I have one other character, one other thing that I've done in my life. I've spent 50 years studying the Illuminati, and none of these other people have. And they don't really know the reason behind everything. And they can't make the calls that I make. Right 98% of the time for 20 years. I mean, who ever heard of such a record? It's impossible, but it happened. These people are nowhere near the percentage of right calls that I am. So, gold and silver is going higher. And Peter's a good guy.
Mm-hmm. He was Rob McEwen. Bob McEwen.
No, Rob McEwen. Rob McEwen.
Rob
yeah,
McEwen.
He used to be the president of Gold Corp, and he says gold's going to 2,000 by the end of the year. And Rob is a very good friend of mine, and he has his head screwed on properly, and he's probably right, but he didn't say it's going to stop there.
No, he did. Exact. That's what the statement says here. What do you feel about Rob and his prediction that gold will go to 2,000 by the end of the year, but will be driven to $5,000 minimum before the bull is over? That's a 78% increase in gold. So obviously, if they devalue the dollar bill 1 for 3. Gold would be a fantastic investment. If I were to take $1,000 and put it in gold now, I would have, the bull was over and it was worth $6,000, I would have $6,000 in gold. Even if they devalued the paper money, I would still have the gold.
You are absolutely correct. And Rob McEwen is absolutely correct, and he's a very good friend of mine. He's a great guy. I used to work with him, and I don't think there's anybody in the mining industry I don't know. After 50 years, you know everybody. And Rob's very sharp. He took Gold Corp from 0 to a big company. It's one of my recommendations. He doesn't have Gold Corp anymore, but he has $500 million worth of stock. And Rob doesn't have to work. I helped Rob during a trying time one year, about 6 years ago, as the mother and sister both died in the same year. It was tragic. But Rob went out and started a new company because he likes the excitement of discovering gold and silver and building a company. And my hat's off to him. He's a great guy.